What's up, guys? Your boy Lou D back at you for another rantola. And right now I'm going to talk to you about the most serious shit you've ever seen or heard about. Every household in America is fighting a war right now, and it's been raging for more than 100 years. All it takes to get started is one male that lives in the household, and from there the savagery begins. Uncivilized and undisciplined behavior, and a code of conduct that is unbecoming of any normal, right-minded human being. It's a 3-block war, and that 3-block war starts on block 1 with whether or not the toilet paper roll gets loaded up in the toilet paper holder with that sucker coming from over the top or going down below. Block 2 is whether or not it matters if the toilet seat is up or down, and we ain't even gonna talk about the toilet seat cover because that's some next level shit and I like to keep it basic. Third block, the most vicious of them all is that motherfucking thermostat. Man, that fucking thermostat, boy. We have to save that one for the end. See if we have enough energy left. Now everybody knows that unless you've been raised by wolves who probably even know better than themselves, that regardless of what common law might say, what it might suggest, or what a patent picture might look like, the toilet paper roll is to be loaded onto the toilet paper holder with that sucker coming from up and going over the top. Because the last thing you need to do, whether you stand or sit, based on your genetic predisposition to going to the bathroom, at some point you will be sitting on that bowl. Be you tired, drunk, combination of the two, or just have to simply take a shit. And you don't want to go ahead and pull that paper across like this and try to rip it off and just watch it go all over the bathroom. And when you roll it up, what happens next? The unfortunate disaster of it not going back on the right way and getting all chewed up and twisted, looking like a smushed waffle. Can't deal with that kind of bullshit. It's horrific. I tell you what, last thing you need to have your family and friends, your children walking in there trying to figure out why you can't handle a simple toilet paper roll. They're gonna understand and know that you are officially an uncivilized savage. Second block of the 3-block war, that toilet seat. I'm gonna stand here right now, tell you that people better have respect for the women. They don't want to sit down and fall into that cold ass water, especially if your dumb ass forgot to flush. And they don't want that cold porcelain touching their skin. But at the same time, ladies, you gotta remember that if you walk in there and that toilet seat is way up high in the sky, that your man did you a favor by lifting that thing in the first place, using all the strength that it takes to bring that thing up against the forces of gravity that make life easy for you when you have to put it down, whether you let it go and make it slam or put it down politely. And then of course there's those of you with those fancy toilet seats that don't slam anymore, because most people are just simply taking a wad of nasty crumbled up smush waffle looking toilet paper. You know that's the kind of household it is if there's an argument of whether or not that toilet seat has to be put down all the time, and wiping that piss off, drying it up, but not necessarily killing any germs that can go into the porous wood of that toilet seat or that semi-porous plastic toilet seat. Those germs stay there, fester for months and years, going on your ass and the back of your legs. And then one day you're gonna wake up and your ass is gonna be all on the bed, and you're gonna wonder why your body looks like the same physique that people had in those pictures that we used to draw in the 2nd grade, where the back goes directly into your hamstrings. You want to live life like that? I wouldn't. So it doesn't matter whether the toilet seat is up or down. What matters is that if it's up, you know for a fact that there's no drops of pee-pee on that thing. And then the 3rd block of the 3-block war, the one that it takes everybody's cooperation to win, is who handles that thermostat, who does not, and why. Now, if you are a child living in your parents' house, your official mission is to never ever, under any circumstance, touch that thermostat. You always ask permission. And in a day of cell phones where you can get that instant gratification of contact with your parents, you call them up and say, "Mom, Dad, can I adjust the thermostat? I'm too cold, or I feel like it's too hot." Now, whether the man or the woman is in charge of that thermostat, somebody better figure out how it works. Because simply raising the temperature while it's set to cool does not automatically raise the temperature of the household, knocking that slight chill out of the air. And just because you lower that temperature does not mean automatically that that hot-ass house is gonna cool off. It's not how it works. Somebody better go learn something. This is dire, because the last thing you need is for that to extend into the hands of some righteous cause revolutionary in the way of a friend or family member who visits your household, where they have to go over and take action into their own hands and embarrass everybody in those rooms by showing them how to properly set that thing. And of course, it's not their business to begin with, so they better ask permission first. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a war that's been raging since the beginning of toilet paper, since the beginning of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. It is a war that's been waged between men and women and children for over 100 years. From East Coast to West Coast, from sea to shining sea, and from our beautiful southern border with the great country of Mexico and the Caribbean, all the way up to our northern border with the friendly neighbors to the north, the Canadians. Now you go out there and get some. Win this war, because it is of dire consequence if we do not. Go get some.